Hi everybody, I'm next weather meteorologist Terry Eliasen, and man, this is a busy holiday weekend coming up. I'm sure if you're not apple picking, you might be pumpkin picking. If you're not doing that, you may be fall leaf peeping, but I got some interesting weather news, sort of a developing weather situation here. Let's get to the radar. We're actually talking about a potential coastal storm or nor'easter coming this weekend. As of right now, it is clear skies from basically New England all the way back to the Midwest. In fact, you could take a drive probably 2,000–3,000 miles to the west and not see one drop of rain. And same thing to the south. You could drive almost all the way to Florida and be dry. So you're probably wondering, where is this nor'easter? Well, as a matter of fact, it's about 1,500 miles to our south, just over western Cuba, just to the south of Miami, and it's basically sitting along a sort of washed out cold front. That rain that came through here on Thursday, that was in association with a cold front, and on the very end of that cold front, a storm is forming. So here we go. Tracking it into this holiday weekend, you can see this is Saturday afternoon. The area of low pressure will be sitting off the Florida coastline, and areas from South Carolina up through North Carolina will be getting lashed with wind and rain. Here on Saturday, though, fantastic. If you've got holiday plans, or if you have the ability to change your plans or base it on the best weather forecast for each day, Saturday is your day. That's the day to apple pick, to leaf peep, to do whatever you need to do. Maybe you're securing your boats for the winter, you're shutting down your lake house. Saturday is your day from basically all the way from southern New England up to northern New England. We'll track that storm now coming up northward. It's just drifting up the east coast. This is now Sunday morning. You can see heavy rain basically extending from, say, Atlantic City all the way down to Hatteras, North Carolina. Definitely a very windy, windswept rain for a large part of the east. The whole east coast is essentially going to be affected and impacted this weekend. As far as us here in southern New England, I think we'll be dry to start on Sunday, but definitely the clouds will be thickening. And as the day goes on Sunday, that rain will start to inch northward. And so by afternoon, I think it's probably wet across areas south of the Mass Pike. Certainly by evening, I think the rain's probably up to about the Mass New Hampshire border. So again, on Sunday, if your best bet to stay dry, head north. If you're heading up into northern parts of, say, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, I think you're probably dry throughout the entire daylight hours of Sunday. Could be kind of cloudy and coolish, but again, you'll be rain-free nonetheless. And then Monday is probably the wettest day of all. Could just be a windy washout on Monday for most of the area. I still think the heaviest rain is in southern New England, but even up into the northern mountains, greens and whites, there won't be a ton of moisture, a ton of rain, but there will be some showers and definitely a raw wind to go along with it. So it's sort of like a deterioration throughout the weekend, our best day being Saturday and the worst being Monday. Here's a look at Sunday, a little bit closer look. So this just goes to show, you know, your best chance of a good day Sunday, of a dry day Sunday, the farther north you go, the better off you are. Certainly anywhere down on the south coast, Cape and the Islands, that rain's going to come up pretty quick during Sunday morning. And in the Boston area, down the Mass Pike, we're sort of on the edge. I think we will see deteriorating conditions on Sunday, but probably not really much rain until the second half of the day or late afternoon. The rainfall forecast, and I tell you what, it may not be the best time. The timing is not ideal with the holiday weekend coming up, but we do need the rain. We had about an inch, inch and a half at most a few days ago. This one's going to be a rainmaker for the entire East Coast. I think parts of southern New England, especially southeastern New England, could easily see 1 to 3 inches of rain, you know, when all is said and done. And the last rainfall actually may not be done until sometime on Tuesday. This thing could actually linger into Tuesday. Wind gust forecast, again, we're starting on Sunday. Sunday gets breezy as the day goes on. This is an east-northeast wind, so you know, definitely nor'easter criteria being met here. Southeastern parts of Massachusetts definitely with the strongest gusts on Sunday, and nothing too bad. We're only talking, say, 25 to 35 miles an hour, but still, if you're on the Cape and the rain's falling Sunday afternoon and evening and the wind's a little bit gusty, definitely not an ideal situation if you're vacationing down there. And then the winds tend to pick up overnight into Monday morning. You can see gusts now between 40 and 50 over the Cape, maybe even a little bit higher on the islands or outer Cape. And the rest of the area, not as bad, but still say 20 to 35 miles an hour for most of the area. Again, an east-northeast wind, typical sort of coastal situation here for us with the wind and the rain. And then as we go into the latter part of Monday, we do start, it persists. The winds are still 20 to 40, but I do think the winds will start to die off as we get into Monday night and Tuesday. One last thought here. We have king tides this week, which is essentially some of our highest tides of the year astronomically. Thankfully, if this storm were coming a few days earlier, this could have been a much bigger deal, but thankfully the storm is arriving several days after the highest high tide. So you can see each day, starting Friday and continuing through early next week, the high tides, astronomically speaking, are getting lower by about half a foot or so. So I do think Sunday afternoon and also again on Monday afternoon, there will be some minor coastal flooding, especially east-facing shorelines. But I do not expect anything major to go on here, just sort of a minor splash over. You know, if you live in those areas, it's the typical areas that tend to get a little bit of inundation when the tides are high or a little bit of splash over. But again, we're avoiding what could have been a much more serious situation with the tides. So that is it for now. We'll definitely keep you posted throughout the end of the week and through the weekend. We'll have updates every step of the way, and we'll definitely keep that timeline on track. We'll make sure we'll let you know on Sunday and Monday if there is any period of time that you can get out and enjoy. But for now, thank you for joining us. Eric Fisher will have an update tonight, and again, we'll be updating you all weekend long.